thank you so much for coming to Back to School Night. I am so glad you ended up coming.
No problem.
To be here.
Basically, all I called you in for was to go over some of the things we'll be going over in class, like with our core standards. And what that is basically the states and district standards for us teachers in the classroom to teach the students. So that way all the students across the nation are on the same level. So do you have any questions about these standards or?
I guess first let's start off with what are they? What are the standards?
That's a really great question. So Utah uses a K through 12 Common Core state standards for math, science, English language arts, basically all the subjects that your student will learn in our classroom. Is already mapped out by what the district and what the state kind of have set the standard to be, which is, I mean, that gives us a consistent, clear understanding of what is expected of me as a teacher to teach the students, and also it's good for your student, Eleanor, to know what's expected of her. So that's kind of what the ultimate goal is, and we kind of break that down in the curriculum. So the standards are broken down into class objectives and student-friendly learning targets, which is basically just lessons. That's really all what it comes down to, and by the end of it, there's student-friendly learning targets. There are I can statements that the student will be able to say. So, for example, I showed you on your handout right here. The student, my objective would be the student will be able to write all letters of the alphabet in cursive and then be able to connect those letters to form sentences, because that is, as you can see, I wrote down for you the standard for the state. And so their student-friendly target would be that, like, they would be able to say at the end of their unit, I can write all the letters to the alphabet in cursive, and I can connect cursive letters to write words and sentences. So that's exactly. So that's just sort of what it is.
So how do you plan on approaching these standards in your teaching? You know, how is my child going to learn the different standards so she can be able to use them?
Your child will learn differently than other children. So every child learns on a different level, on different rates, and there's going to be a whole classroom full of different learners, basically. And so as a teacher, we focus on 3 different types of learning, and that's knowledge, reasoning, and skills. And I approach all of these because these are all the different ways of thinking, and so that way your child will fully be able to comprehend every concept that we talk in class about. This means that your child will be able to apply everything into the real world. By doing this, I assess how they do on their skill level. So let me explain. So the 3 different types are knowledge, reasoning, and skill. The knowledge is sort of the base foundation of what your child will know first, which is the ability to understand a concept. After that, it's more of a reasoning where it's a higher level of understanding where they can start to analyze, synthesize, evaluate, classify, and so on, and have a deeper critical comprehension of it, of the concept. And then the skill is the ability to perform what they know. So that's how I'll assess them. And honestly, they need all 3 of these to understand each other. They're kind of all interlocked. So that's how I plan on making sure your child is like all the other children, able to grasp these concepts.
Perfect. Sounds like a great plan. So Ms. Britt, what do you think? How will you incorporate these levels of learning into your classroom, into the lessons, and maybe what standards are of greater importance than others?
That is an excellent question. Let me show you the curriculum map. Actually, I have it right here. If you want to flip to the Unit 1, I will show you some of the highlighted points. So basically, a curriculum is how the standards are implemented in the classroom, or basically it's just my lesson plan for the class. This gives me the ability to pace and make sure that I'm sticking to a right pace for the students to learn, and also for us to accomplish everything that we need to accomplish in the year. So this is, I'll just kind of point out some things right here. The vocabulary is sort of, well, let's start over here. This is for the math. The math content objectives are just kind of listed right here, like solve a two-step word problem, write an equation for a two-step word problem, use a letter sound for the missing number in an equation. Basically, that's kind of what the I can statement is, the student learning target, as we talked about before.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah, and so, but that's right. So we break it down in my lessons because it says right there approximately 14 days.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
So then, all right.
Exactly.
Great.
So once that's kind of the reasoning aspect of it all, but the knowing is the vocabulary. So it has things like the added, algorithm, arithmetic plans, all of those are listed right there, and it continues on to the next pages. And then for their skills-based learning is the assessment. It's the test. It's how I know that they can perform their knowledge and reasoning skills, pretty much. And so those are, and if you look all the way over here on page 12, this is the lesson plans that I have for each day, how I'm going to break it down in the classroom. So that way you can, and that also holds me accountable as a teacher, for when your student goes home and you ask them, what did you learn today? You can look up right here what they know, and holds me accountable as well. And also they know what to expect, and you know how to help them at home. So this is kind of a win-win-win situation for me, you, and the student.
Appreciate that. That's great.
Yeah, and so that's just kind of how this curriculum is done, and you're welcome to look over that and see the different materials we use in case you need them and all that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
So this is just designed to meet the need of the student, and as you can see, it's very adjustable according to different students' learning. Like if Nora is a quick learner, then she will be challenged in different ways. However, if she struggles with a certain concept, then this is a very malleable program where we can ensure that her needs are met, along with the other students. So that way she keeps up with them, and they're all kept up with her. If that makes sense at all. And I'm committed to that. I am 100% committed to making sure that your child walks out of here successful and knows her third grade material, so that she'll do well in fourth grade, and honestly in the rest of her schooling. It's kind of a good foundation for it. So do you have any questions for that?
Well, that's perfect.
Okay,
I think you explained everything pretty
if
well.
you do have any questions, then just know that I have put my contact information, my phone number, and email. So
Perfect. Yeah, if we have anything additional, we'll let you know for sure.
good. I hope you do.
Thank you.
How can we help as parents?
Well, as a teacher, I will do everything to ensure that your child's education is taken care of. I will assess. I will make sure that she has an enriched environment to learn in. But that being said, I will send home assignments with her, and occasionally she's going to need help. And that's where you two come in. If when she asks for help, you can help her with her math or her English, and help her read or write or whatever it may be. And even if she doesn't necessarily need help solidifying the subject, it's always a good thing to listen. Often a good way for them to learn is to teach back. And also just for her to know that you two are there is really, if they feel encouraged and supported, then that'll just really boost her education. So honestly, I'm not worried with great parents like you. I think you'll be great. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at any time, and we can talk about whatever issue comes our way. But I'm so excited. Thank you again for coming. This is going to be such a great year. I'm just thrilled to have Eleanor in our class. She is darling and just such a delight. So
We like to think so.
I know.
yeah, so thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Always, I'm so happy.